I know we haven't started this thing, but
We actually just started it.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So, do me a favor, Nick. Some people don't know you, so go ahead and just introduce yourself. Tell me who you are.
Yeah. So Nick Dunagan. I almost said my title of Health for Heroes, but that's not who I am.
Yeah.
So Nick Dunagan, I was born and raised in San Diego, California. I'd say I had your typical childhood up until a certain point. Always outside, a 90s kid, right? Always
90s kid.
outside.
In California, too.
Yeah. So Southern California especially. So always outside riding bikes and getting into trouble. And it was the whole era, come home when the street lights come on and go get dinner and stuff. And you did your homework right after school so you could hurry up and get outside and play. Yep. And so I did all that. And, my parents eventually kind of turned to drugs, unfortunately, and got pretty involved in that. And so that's when childhood kind of changed. Sure. So there's a lot of traumatic stuff going on in the household. Eventually, my parents divorced. And so, I say all this because it's absolutely how I became who I am today. Sure. Not to get soppy, but it is. So, they went through a pretty nasty divorce, and me and my younger brother, spent a lot of time going back and forth, week on with mom, week on with dad, back and forth. And so, there was a lot of challenges that came with that. They got divorced I think I was probably about 8, I would guess. And so fast forward to when I'm 15 years old and my mother was tragically murdered. I don't really know what else to say about that. Dang. No need to go into a bunch of details on that, but it was very unexpected for obviously everyone in the entire family. It's not the cancer that everyone knows and it's Sure. coming. It's, she was killed in cold blood. So it was definitely another defining moment of my life. That kind of shifted me into a perspective of, life is short. No need to be wasting time in school. I was in high school at the time. Felt like a big waste of time.
Sure.
So I started working construction. Basically just any labor job that would take me. I knew I just needed to make money to go and start living life because that's what I needed to do right then. That was my mindset. So that went on for a little while from probably age 16 to 21, and then I decided, I had had enough with the dead-end jobs and that I wasn't really making something of myself. I was partying a lot, and I just realized I wanted to do something different. So I up and joined the military. I joined the Army in 2009. I was 21, and just went, I guess, in search of that better life, Sure. For lack of a better term. And I think I found it. I definitely gained a lot from joining the military. A lot of life experience, a lot of, I guess, military experience in the sense that it's not your typical life experience. So, I spent 12 months in Afghanistan and got to experience quite a bit of real life there. And so, that was 2011. So fast forward a bit, 2013, I started experiencing some symptoms, if you will. I had just been promoted to sergeant. I was reaching my career goals and advancing in the way I wanted to. And about a year after I got back from deployment, I started having these issues. And it was, in my head, it's been a year. I didn't have any issues between now and then. So I didn't connect the dots that this was combat stress related. So I was having a handful of mental health issues, definitely a lot of sleep issues, insomnia, that type of stuff, which ultimately translated right into how I was showing up every day or not showing up rather. Yeah. And so it started to become a problem. My senior NCOs were digging into me, telling me I was not being a good example, and I wasn't. I was truly kind of falling off, but I didn't know what was going on. So I finally reached out and did the counterculture thing and went and saw the doc. So I sat down with a psychiatrist, one I'd never met in my entire life, spent about 15 minutes chatting with her. And after that, I walked out with a prescription for 4 of like the heaviest psychopharmaceutical drugs you can give somebody for depression, anxiety, and sleep in 15 minutes. I mean, it blew my mind. So I remember leaving her office and going, okay, this is the help I guess I was looking for. No, not really.
Yeah.
This is definitely not what I was looking for when I came and said I'm having some troubles. So I stood there. I was supposed to go fill the prescription, and I remember just kind of standing there thinking, no, I'm not doing this, man. I'm not filling those prescriptions. That is not the help I'm looking for. So I exited. I just left the clinic. I didn't fill the prescription. That was 2013, and I have still not filled those prescriptions.
Good for you, dude.
It's been a challenge, though. Yeah, thank you. But it has been a challenge. So that kind of brings me up to, about 5 years ago, getting out of the military, all those mental health issues and whatnot that was going on back then. I was struggling with combat stress, but it wasn't being addressed in the military. It was really mind-blowing. It led to a difficult transition out and a difficult time initially when I got out. So my first year and a half or so of being out of the military, I spent kind of in a deep, dark place. I felt like I had been discarded. I felt like I had peaked. Like that was the best thing I would ever do in my life would be my time in the military, and everything else outlook was bleak. Like that old magic 8-ball outlook is bleak. And so I was down and depressed, and I spent a lot of time drinking and treating my body poorly. And then that, essentially my buddy one day was like, hey, let's go. Let's get out of here, right? And you need to do something different. So he shook it up and he said, let's go. And he took me to this indoor rock climbing gym. And it just so happened that there was a veterans group there. And they had worked out a deal with the gym to where if you were a part of their group, which was free to be a part of, you could come and do indoor rock climbing or bouldering actually for $5.
Okay.
So they made it accessible.
Yep.
And they let me know about it. So I was aware of the resource. And I started doing that. And started going every Thursday night and indoor rock climbing with this group. And it eventually started to pull me out of the hole I was in. I started feeling good. I started feeling lighter. I was, shooting the breeze with other veterans that were going through the same thing. I got normalized, understanding that I wasn't the only one going through this. And then I started having fun, exercising and doing, physical challenges on the rock climbing wall. And so that kind of really got me into a position to where I was able to say, all right, hey, like that, you're starting to feel better, man. Like there's hope out there. You can feel better. What was that? Oh, it was the engagement with like-minded people. Oh, it was the physical challenge of, of getting on the rock wall. And how did I get to that? It was the accessibility that they had created with the gym. $5. I was broke getting out of the military. I didn't have any money for that stuff. Extracurricular activities. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Bills.
I need food.
Yeah, right. So they made it affordable and accessible. And so that kind of put me in a position to start doing better for myself. And I found a donation-based yoga studio. And then I started getting back to the gym and started getting back into nutrition, and ultimately enrolled in CSU for health and exercise science in 2017. It's kind of what brought me up here. And kept working with other veteran organizations. I've worked for probably 4 different ones since I've got out of the military. And ultimately led me to found Health for Heroes with my co-founder, Mary.
Yeah. That's awesome.
2 years ago. Yeah.
There's a lot.
That was a long intro.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. But no, I'm glad you said that, because after intro, it was Nick history. So you kind of just went right into it. So I appreciate that. Yeah, so I mean, just
how long was that intro?
There was a
standard,
lot.
Nick.
I mean, there was about 13 minutes, but that was good. That's good quality content. That's great quality
Clip
content.
that.
Yeah, clip. But no, I think so. First off, I appreciate everything you've done. Right? I mean, I can always appreciate people who were given turds and turn them into shiny turd.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sort of make the best out of situations, because it is so easy for us just to play victim, and that's one thing that we sort of believe here at CrossFit Loveland is be resilient.
Right.
Like you're always going to get kicked down in life, but like how can you come back from it? And then even for you to be, I guess, not lucky enough, but to have the opportunity to be like, I don't want this medication. I don't want to be just that other veteran that turns to these heavy pharmaceutical drugs, eventually gets into drinking, and the holding up a cardboard sign on the corner of the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It's a path.
it's
It is
sad,
absolutely a path.
and it really is. So I can appreciate that, you were in a position to say like, heck no, I don't want to do that. But then also just to learn from it and understand like that's not what you want to do.
Right.
That there's probably more from it. And then the last thing that I think I really liked was like you hear these stereotypes of just like these support groups, but it's almost depressing. You know what I mean? Because nobody's really doing it's just like talking about the problems, but it's not like being involved in something bigger. You know
Right.
what I mean? And what is any military about? It's about brotherhood, family, and pushing your personal limits.
Right.
So I think
taking action.
exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of just sitting in a group and just saying whatever, I think there's value that you were actually doing something, interacting, and pushing your physical limits, but doing it with your brothers, in a sense. So I really like that, and I mean, what
It's very therapeutic
Mhm.
without being therapy.
Sure.
Right? There's a ton of benefit to just socializing with your buddy, or a couple of buddies.
Yeah.
There's a ton of benefit to exercise, whether that's rock climbing or going for a run or a hike. You put all that stuff together and you're just getting medicine.
Yeah.
And it's the medicine we need for sure. But you have to get it in those, you have to be open to it, open to receiving it, which takes a lot of folks some time to get there. But once you're open to that, it can be very life-changing to just have a good support group and have healthy, positive outlets, because there are plenty of unhealthy, negative outlets in this world.
Absolutely.
Plenty.
Well, then it's and people say it, right, and especially from the CrossFit realm, but I think anything is they're like it's addicting.
Right.
And it's like, and they're like, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. And it's like, well, I mean, technically balance is probably better but I mean, if you were to choose an addiction, would you rather do exercise or socializing or booze and drugs and other stuff? You know what I mean?
Why not be addicted to something that's positively beneficial?
That's going to promote
not just
your
for
wellness.
you, but for the people around you.
Absolutely. So then when you're kind of thinking about, Health for Heroes, what, like, instead of like, what made you think of like the whole membership idea? Or actually, let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about Health for Heroes, and just what it does, and then kind of in the mix of it, let's talk like what made you like think we need to do this?
Okay. So Health for Heroes, essentially, our mission statement is to empower veterans and first responders to take command of their health, reduce the impact of service, and increase longevity through community, connection, and education. Those three things that we do, the empowering the veterans and first responders to take command of their health, to reduce the impact of service, and increase longevity. We do those things through our programs. And our programs are justly labeled community, connection, and education. So, based on what I was telling you with my intro, a lot of what can be missing from someone's life when they are getting out of the military, whether they're fresh out or they've been out for a long time, or even these folks that are in currently serving as first responders or even former, as we serve them as well. What they're missing is, it's not for me to tell them what they're missing. What we've seen that's missing is the group piece, the healthy outlet, the coming together for positive, beneficial things for this specific group, veterans, first responders, and their families. So we're doing those things. Our community program supports all of that by hosting social events, service projects, outdoor recreation opportunities, And we have an ambassador program as well where we're investing in some of our members based on their interests, whether that's training for a Spartan Ultra or something like that. We want to invest in some of our members that way. So the community program's focus really is building community, not only showing our members, which is the veterans and first responders and their families, not only showing them that this whole community supports you, but also creating a community for you to come and do all those events and take advantage of all these things with. So over time, we'll hopefully start to see members becoming friends and, socializing outside of our structured networks. But what we're providing is that platform for those relationships to start to take place.
Sure.
Through our community programs. So through our connection program, which is where the awareness piece comes in and the affordability piece, like I talked about with the rock climbing group. So it's one thing to know about the resources in your area, or let me back up. It's one thing to know that exercise is good for you.
Yeah.
It's another thing to find a gym or a studio or the right type of exercise that fits you and find that in your area where it's convenient, where it's affordable. So knowing is half the battle, and then being able to access it's the other piece. Sure. So great. CrossFit is super beneficial for our health. Not only the physical exercise piece, but the community that's just deeply rooted in the CrossFit scene. So, we know that is beneficial to these folks, but getting them to it is the connection piece. So that's how we create relationships with businesses like yours. Then we can go out and kind of shout and talk about, hey, this is beneficial. Not only is it good for you, we can get you connected to the one in your city, in your area, in your neighborhood, and we can get you a discount there to encourage your use. And in the future, if that discount, is not enough for certain people, we never want finance to be a barrier to access. So in the future, if 20%, 15%, 40% discount for whatever service they're looking for just isn't enough, we'll have a grant program or a kind of a scholarship program. I really don't like that word, but some type of program where we can support these guys and girls and just cover 100% of the cost of their access to this, because we want them to be utilizing these services and we don't want money to be a barrier.
Sure.
And then the last piece is education. So it's that knowledge is power kind of theory, right? The more you know, the more you can do. If I know all about health and wellness, then I'm more likely to be implementing those changes in my life than if I didn't know about any of them, right? It's just, that just makes sense. So our education piece is hosting workshops and retreats in order to educate our members and or the general public, depending on the event, about certain topics that we feel can benefit these folks. So we just had our first one in February, and it was basically the benefits of holistic wellness. So we had a guest speaker, a veteran who has utilized hiking and nature therapy and found all types of different ways to address his physical and mental concerns without medication. And so he spoke about that, which was great. It was really nice to hear him explain his service and how he's recovered from that. But then we had a service provider, one of our other partners, Glenn Wellness, in there to talk about acupuncture and the benefits of all that. And then we broke out into pop-up clinic where everyone was able to get acupuncture sessions. So it's kind of learn, try, do kind of a thing. That's kind of the structure that we want to have for our workshops moving forward, is come and learn about something, whether you know about it or not. Maybe you're learning something new. Maybe you're just brushing up on old knowledge. And then try something maybe new, or just getting access to a session that works out for you at that time.
Or just understand it, or get a better understanding. Ask those questions. I think I can relate it to CrossFit, where people are like, I don't really know much about CrossFit other than the fact that you move really fast and you're dying after. And it's like, that's like a small piece to it. You know what I mean? They don't see the structured warm-ups, the structured classes, how we're teaching the movements, like that sort of thing. So now breaking that down, now somebody will be like, oh, well, that's not as intense as I thought,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
I dig that piece
The
for
more
sure.
you know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Which, I mean, and for most people, it's what do they search for? Yeah, you have everything on your computer that you can look for, but I mean, you type in best things for mental health, you're going to get 50 different things, to where if you come to one individual, you can hear their perspective. If you
Right.
like it, you can agree with it. But if not, then hey, I know CrossFit isn't my gig. So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad I know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, definitely. And there's one more piece I want to add into our programs because I would be remiss if I did not, and it's the piece on retreats.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just talked about learning more about maybe a certain subject, learning more about nutrition. Let's say that. Well, we also want to offer these opportunities for folks to learn more about themselves and grow, and process through trauma and process through things that they feel are holding them back in life
Mm-hmm.
as a direct relation from their service or any life experience, really. And so my co-founder Mary has a program that we're going to bring to life here in Northern Colorado, and that is a 3 or 5 day, probably do both, 3 or 5 day model of an intense full immersion retreat. So participants being veterans, first responders, and their partner or spouse. So it's a paired model.
Cool.
They'll go to a kind of a secluded mountain setting. We're looking at a mountain ranch in Red Feather right now. They'll go there for the 3 or 5 days and really just dedicate that time to themselves. Mary will go through education, different basically like seminar or work groups throughout those days where she'll go through different topics of moral injury or PTS and identifying how PTS or PTSD is impacting your life and maybe some good tools or things that can help you through that
Mm-hmm.
or around it, however you need to go, to be able to carry on in your life, and have some more longevity and some happiness there.
Yeah.
So that's really the opportunity to kind of come and learn a lot about yourself, through those education. But then things get, that's a lot to talk about in a day.
Sure.
Talking about maybe your experience in a deployment that was 10 or 15 years ago, or we've got Vietnam vets coming that are talking about things that happened 30, 40, 50 years ago. And that's a lot for these guys to carry with them. So these retreats is that opportunity to kind of get it out, but that'll bring up some emotion. So we'll break it up and input some recreation.
Sure.
So we'll go maybe horseback riding or hiking or do some yoga, maybe some fly fishing, some type of recreational activity in that beautiful setting, to just kind of settle everything back down.
That's awesome.
And then the third piece is the wellness treatments. So at the end of that day, we've had dinner and stuff like that, then folks can go and find the massage therapist or the chiropractor or a consultant
Yeah.
to just sit down and maybe talk things out with.
Yeah.
And get that piece. So it's 3 pieces that really come together to make these retreats special. And we're excited to be offering those soon as well.
Yeah. That's great. The one thing that I really liked when you and I first chatted was that you were very adamant about a holistic approach, and it's not to, I mean, it's not to say that Western medicine doesn't have a place, right? It
Right.
just comes down to perspective and sort of your experience with it, and you didn't have a positive experience. And I am personally a huge proponent of holistic approach,
Sure.
So I mean, that's one thing that I really like about this is it's not just saying, go do some exercise, you'll be fine, right? It's taking your personal experience and saying like what has helped me out and what has been super beneficial for me, and like you said, just access,
Right.
because anybody, I mean, majority of people, not just veterans and first responders, but you said like if anyone's dealing with some issues, it's like, well, where do you start?
Right.
I have no idea. I really don't, and thankfully for us, like we've been in the trenches, we've understood what we need. That's how it's easier for us to provide solutions. You know what
Right.
I mean? Because we know, like, hey, Nick, I can totally help you, or yeah, I don't think you really can use my help. I think you got to do something a little bit different. So
Yeah, go check on this.
go
Or
check on
go
this.
check that out.
Yeah, exactly. Or reach out to this
Right.
person or whatever. So I can I can really dig that. I like it. I love the mission, and I think I just enjoy what you're offering and how you're just continuing to expand. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I'm personally excited to watch you grow and watch you do more and more things because I know you have some, some of those fun wellness events coming up. But
Yeah.
there's also this thing called the Gladiator Games.
Guardian games.
Guardian Games. Why did I put
Clip that.
Gladiator Games?
That's okay. Hopefully because it feels that way a little bit.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I thought there was going to be like lions and tigers and chains like Gladiator.
Yeah. For
Oh,
sure. Fight to the death.
Fight to the death. Are you not entertained?
Right.
Yeah. So talk a little more about the Guardian Games. That's coming up pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be Saturday, June 11th,
Okay.
right here in Loveland. So Loveland Sports Park on the championship turf field. It's a big pride piece for the Loveland Parks Department for sure, and I'm sure the community really enjoys having that. But we set eyes on that a month or so ago and got that all locked in. So it's good to go Saturday, June 11th at Loveland Sports Park. We're going to pretty much be out there all day. So the event runs from 9 to 3. But obviously there's check-in and things going on afterwards as well. So what is the event? Health for Heroes Guardian Games and Expo is a military and first responder inspired fitness competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the major focus of this event is the fitness competition and all the camaraderie and everything that goes along with that. And it's surrounded by this military first responder expo in the sense to really just give it a full, robust event feeling, especially for many of those who might have young children or whatnot. And there's other activities and all kinds of other great stuff going on so you don't have to just stay there focused on the games the whole time. But the teams will compete. So it's teams of 4, co-ed, 2 males, 2 females will compete in 5 events across, throughout this day. I think it's about a 5-hour working window.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be releasing the workout information. I almost spilled the beans a little bit. We're gonna be releasing the workout information soon.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say: it's a military first responder inspired functional fitness competition. Mm-hmm. There will be some CrossFit. I guess like feels or threads kind of running through some of those events, but it's not specifically CrossFit. So that what we're trying to do there is really open it up to a broader base of people who can come out and have a good time. So it's a fundraiser, but it's also going to be a very challenging, grueling fitness competition. So definitely come prepared for that. But we hope that it's something people can look forward to year after year. And putting together teams and trying to take first place. We'll have some awesome prizes and trophies for that. But to kind of give you a little preview, I will say that if you're a CrossFitter or if you're just somebody who maybe doesn't run so much or have a lot of cardio in their gas tank, I'd say work on that a bit. It's definitely going to be a gasser for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good to know. You heard it here. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Get your cardio up.
Get your cardio up. And then, I mean, I know I spoke with Mary a little bit about it too. You're going to hope to have or planning to have at least 50 to 100 vendors that support sort of your mission with lifestyle and wellness, we'll say.
So it's so we're going to have 20 teams in the fitness competition. And then we're looking to have 100 vendors at this deal. We've got the space for it. And we've got everything lined up. So now it's a matter of getting more vendors to sign up. All that can be done through our website. It's a super simple process. We've got that streamlined to make it easy on everybody.
Okay.
However, for the expo, we're looking for health and wellness businesses. So if you're in that industry and you have a product that you want to get in front of our attendees, then we definitely want to have you there. Originally, the idea was that this would be a health expo only.
Sure.
And this is why we have teams, because it was very clear to me that could get boring even for the biggest health nut.
Sure.
To see just health and wellness stuff. So it's heavy on that health and wellness piece because that's who we are.
Yeah.
However, we've opened it up to add some more excitement and add some more to it. We've opened it up to any veteran or military veteran or first responder related businesses So if you feel like your demographic is the military first responder community, we want you there. We've also opened it up to first responder agencies as well as military and veteran agencies, so support organizations. There will be some other nonprofits there as well. Definitely a community feel.
Awesome.
But all to show up and showcase support for our Northern Colorado veterans and first responders.
That is sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome day. We've got some really exciting vendors signed up already that we'll be announcing soon, but and some some pretty exciting sponsors we're going to be announcing soon as well. So things are definitely moving. We're encouraging people to get your vendor space. Yes, it's 100, but at the rate we're going, it's going to fill, and we might even get to a wait list. So that's big news.
Yeah.
For your teams, we definitely want to get folks registered for the fitness competition. I'll say that, you definitely want to be somewhat fit for this competition. It's definitely not something anybody who can just walk up and do. But it's not definitely for elite athletes only either, right? So if you fancy yourself as athletic-ish-esque at all, you could probably do this, and you should come out and have a good time.
Yeah. Well, and I think too that's like that's really what it should be. Is like, I mean, you want to challenge yourself. And let's push yourself, but I mean, step up to the plate. You know, like, I mean, just don't like not to really be intimidated by if it's. And I think it was wise that you guys didn't call it a CrossFit comp, because I think that excludes a lot of people, just that don't think very highly of CrossFit, or CrossFit comps,
or I'm not a CrossFitter, whether I think it's great or not. Or I'm not a CrossFitter, so I guess I can't do that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we definitely don't want to have that. I mean, some of the events will have a CrossFit feel to them. Some Olympic, there'll be some barbells out there and things like that, right? We're going to have some fun with this, but there'll be a heavy military first responder influence.
Sweet.
Might be some low crawling, might be some litter carry or water can, relays.
Egg on a spoon.
Egg on a spoon, absolutely. That's like number one training for boot camp.
Is that the? Are you going to do a bracket style egg on the spoon type thing?
Yeah, tournament style egg on the
tournament
spoon.
style. And then there is going to be some live. I don't know what you'd call them, like some spectator workouts as well, right? With some of the local fitness and wellness.
Absolutely. So as part of the Expo, I should just say this. So grand scheme of things, I should put this out already. We are thumbs up on a flyover. So our opening ceremony should have a flyover. So you definitely want to come out for that. It's going to be a great opening ceremony.
Real quick.
I just distracted myself. Go ahead.
I always get choked up on the flyovers. I don't know what it is, man. It just gets so hyped. And I'm always just like, man.
It's sentimental. USA, right? Yeah. If you have pride and love for the country, it does feel a certain way. Otherwise, it might not.
Yeah.
And, those people might not be there.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough.
My cousin is going to come out and she's flying in from California to sing the national anthem for us. She's a top-notch singer, so I'm really excited to actually include my family in some of this, right? That's how cool. There'll be static display, military and first responder vehicle static display. So it's not confirmed yet, but we're hoping to have some helicopters there on site, whether that's military or potentially like UC Health Flight for Life. We want to have some, or we're going to have some police vehicles on site. Maybe the SWAT truck might be there, ambulance on site. All this stuff kind of set up really cool for, adults like me. I enjoy checking it out, but definitely cool for the kids for sure, right? To check out these life-size, military and first responder vehicles. So that'll all be on site. And then, the full expo is going on. And as a part of that, we're going to mix in some kind of group classes. So there'll be a kids zone with maybe some kids fit classes, get the kids doing maybe some karate or something like that, or some group workout, something fun for them, but also for the adults. We're looking to have yoga classes maybe once or twice throughout the day, potentially a spin class. Not confirmed yet, but potentially might have a group spin class out there, might have some group kind of hit style, maybe boxing workout or something like that. So there's going to be, whether you can compete in the fitness competition or not, this is definitely going to be a full day around just health and wellness and getting out there. And it's, it's June 11th. It's going to be a beautiful summer day on a Saturday. Food vendors out there. And another really big sponsor that we're waiting to confirm that I can't wait to share with everybody when we get there. But if they do get in, that'll be very fun for everybody involved.
Cool. The doesn't it suck? Like the anticipation, you're just like, I want to say it so bad, but I get it. I get it.
Even with the verbal commitment and the handshake,
you never know.
You never know.
And
so it's too big.
Yeah.
So I'll hold that.
Okay.
It'll be exciting.
All right. Well, I won't keep pressing your buttons. I don't want you to leak any
Trust
more
me,
info.
you're going to know it.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. Well, we're excited for that. I know as a gym, we're going to really push. Obviously, we're going to be there, as a vendor, but you really push our members to get set up and just go enjoy it. And then anyone else in the area as well. So, so
definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
We're looking forward to having you guys.
We know we've only done small scale events and we know how much work it is. So for you to put in the work now, it's awesome, dude. It's really, really cool.
It's going to be a fun time. I definitely invite everyone to come out. We're looking at 300 attendees, at the entire thing. So for your business, you're going to be putting your business right in front of, up to 300 local supporters. And I don't have the stats on this yet. We're working on it, but I can comfortably say that these are the types of folks that are more likely to support your business, knowing that you support organizations like ours and that you're showing up to support the veterans and first responders. That supporting veterans and first responders, no matter what organization you get behind, that mission alone is extremely important. And a lot of people are getting behind that, which we're happy to see.
Badass, dude.
Yeah.
I like it. Cool. You have anything else you want to throw out there?
Just that the website for all the information for the Guardian games.
Give me that, and then give me all of your contact info so people know kind of where to find you, how to get set up, if they're first responders or military.
Yeah. So if you're looking to become a member of Health for Heroes, so that means you're a veteran or first responder, current or former, then you're going to go to our website, health4heroes.org, or you can Google us. We're located in Fort Collins, but we're serving the northern Colorado area. So essentially from Frederick to Wellington, Estes Park to Evans. That's kind of our service area for now. So if you fall in there, please jump on our website, become a member. It's free. You've already paid that price. And we'd love to get you engaged in our community. If you're looking for volunteer opportunities, same thing. Check out our website. There's a link right there. Get involved and come join us and help support our mission. For us, so you can visit us, I think I already said this, health4heroes.org. And then all the information for the Guardian Games is going to be at healthforheroes.org/Guardian Games.
Not Gladiator Games.
Not
Guardian.
Gladiator Games. But hopefully it has a gladiator feel to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I might dress up like a gladiator that day. Yeah.
So this is just a detail, I guess. But what we're looking to do is, so as teams are competing throughout the day, everyone's trying to get first place.
Sure.
That's all based on points that they're accumulating throughout the events. Well, we're looking to have some fun ways to encourage teams to just have some more spirit. So maybe if if you have team shirts made, you might start off with some points. So you're going into the competition already with a leg up because you did that. If you have a veteran or first responder on your team, there might be some extra points for each of them that are there. So there's going to be some fun, creative ways where folks can kind of already start the competition with an advantage based on, how excited you got essentially about the thing.
Yeah. No, I dig that. I like how you say might too.
Yeah.
When I know what you really mean.
Yeah.
Awesome. Dude, great conversation.
Cool.
Happy to have you on here.
Thanks.
It was great to, like I said, just share a little bit more about your organization and what you're doing. And I'm personally really excited to see it, continue to grow and connect with more people. And I mean, I'm just excited to be a part of it too, as a gym. I mean, already there's 2 people who are members of Health for Heroes that are at the gym, and
Awesome.
it's really cool. You know,
Yeah.
it's really really neat. What
And
you
that
guys
just
are doing.
happened. We didn't sign that long ago.
We didn't sign that long ago, so I mean to see the ball already start to roll, and
Right.
there's a lot of first responders and veterans out there that we know we can help. So
Yeah.
awesome. I'm excited. Well, thanks, dude.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say,
Sorry,
because
go
you
ahead.
can add or clip or whatever, we appreciate having you guys in here.
Oh,
no, I'm serious.
stop.
Put this in there.
Okay, we're putting it
We
in.
do. We really appreciate it. I mean, this is a grassroots effort, and it takes every one of our partners to say, all right, we've got an awesome product for these guys. We know that we want to support veterans and first responders in our community. We know that they should be connected with the products we have. So we'd love to get involved. And not only we want to get involved, we're going to dip into our profit margins. This is where we make our money, and everyone knows money is tight these days. Money's actually just made up and fake these days, it seems like.
Yeah,
But
I was going to say.
everyone knows money is tight these days. So for you guys to really say, hey, you know, we want to get this product to more of these people that you're serving, and we're willing to just cut profit out of the deal.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. And that's what we want to be showcasing as we get into our promotion and maybe start our own podcast and that type of stuff, where we can say, hey, look, these businesses, they're not just our partners. They're a functioning arm of our programs. We don't exist without them.
Yeah.
And so we're grateful for folks just like you, and the connections we've made just from knowing you so far, and everything we look forward to in the future.
Awesome.
We're stoked. And thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure, dude. No, I'm stoked to have you, man. So thanks.
Cool.
Appreciate it, man.
Dude, I mean it. And it had to be on the record.
Yeah, it had to be on the record. It's
Had to
on the
be on the
books.
record.
It's on the video. All right, guys. That's all we got for the Be More podcast. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Peace.